Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the November 18th Johnston County Planning Board meeting. As is our custom, we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I'll ask Ms. Howard to lead us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next on our agenda is approval of the minutes from the October 21st Planning Board meeting.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Mr. Lovering, second by Mr. Sasser. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Following this, we have an announcement of an upcoming special planning board meeting from Mr. Newton.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Board, good evening. We do have, as you all are aware, you've already received a notification, we do have a special called meeting of the Planning Board for December, set for December 2nd at 6 p.m. at the Johnston County Agricultural Center Auditorium. The sole purpose in this meeting is to receive a presentation on what we hope is the final draft of the new Unified Development Ordinance. At this meeting, what we can expect is a presentation on the various changes to the UDO, or actually development of this new UDO, and we will get into some details. There will be no action, as we are not required. We will be required to take action. We are not asking for action at that meeting, so that will be delayed to your regular meeting in December, which would be December the 16th. But just wanted to make that announcement here in this setting for those watching on YouTube and those that are in attendance as well.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yep, we absolutely encourage folks to attend. From time to time, we have people come up and ask for things that aren't necessarily in our ordinance and aren't allowed by our ordinance or aren't required by our ordinance. Well, this is a new ordinance. So if you've got comments, thoughts, questions, hopefully you participated in this process at some point in the past, but if you haven't, you're still welcome to come out, hear about what's proposed. Love to hear your feedback and comments and look at getting those incorporated into the recommendations, but that's going to be an important new chapter for Johnston County. So I appreciate all the hard work that's gone into developing that ordinance. Next on our agenda tonight are subdivisions. I'll remind everyone that the vast majority of land in Johnston County is on agricultural residential, which means by right you can farm it or you can build houses on it. As such, it's not the purview of this board to determine if a subdivision is appropriate for any given area, only that it meets our codes and ordinances. Given that we are the final approval body for all subdivisions, I will ask that anyone that wishes to give testimony relative to a subdivision, make sure that that testimony is competent and relevant, particularly to the codes and ordinances, and I will also need you to be sworn in. So if you're going to speak relative to a subdivision, whether you're for it, against it, just have questions, I want to need you to stand and raise your right hand, please. You swear that the information you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and this is your solemn affirmation?
I do.
Thank you so much. Mr. Marr, I believe we're going to make one slight adjustment to the agenda in recognition of one of our applicants having to also be at another meeting this evening. We're going to move up the O'Neill Track NC Highway 39 to the first subdivision on the agenda, and I think we also probably need to handle a recusal for that.
I'm asking for recusal.
Okay, I'm going to need a motion and a second vote on that, please.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, motion to recuse Ms. Howard by Mr. Sasser, second by Mr. Williams. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Ms. Howard. We'll come grab you when we're done. And Mr. Marr, kicks off, please, sir.
Yes, sir. This is tabled from the October meeting. It's O'Neill Tract on NC Highway 39, estate of Johnny O'Neill is the owner. Developers MHB Development LLC. Surveyor engineer is Bass, Nixon, and Kennedy. It's on NC Highway 39 at the intersection of Renfro Narren Road and the O'Neill's Township. It's served by O'Neill's Fire and THS Rescue. 67.62 acres, 42 lots proposed, individual septic, Johnston County Public Water. Traffic count was 3,800 vehicles per day on NC Highway 39. That was in 2023. There were 30 property owners notified, adjacent property owners. It's shown on the comprehensive transportation plan as an existing major thoroughfare with adequate design capacity. The parcel is within the environmentally sensitive area. However, no floodplain appears on the parcel. A reverse landscape buffer will be required for all lots backing up to NC Highway 39 and Renfro Narren Road. And per NC DOT, road improvements will be required for Highway 39 and also possibly Renfro Narren Road, depending on upcoming counts.
Any questions, staff? Thank you, sir. We'd like to be heard on behalf of O'Neill Tract, NC Highway 39. Yes, sir, and for all the speakers, we'll need your name and address, please, for the record.
Good evening. My name is Michael Morrison, MHB Development. I'm the developer of this property. As the staff just mentioned, this property was presented last month at your meeting. I was unable to attend. I was pulled out of town. My engineer, Marty Bizzle, presented the project. I think there was a discussion. Since then, I've studied the YouTube video as well as the minutes you just approved a minute ago. And I think the issue, from my understanding, that it was tabled simply because a gentleman who has a property to the east of one of the proposed lots, 1 on the map, stated that he had a recorded titled easement from way back that gave him right to move from his property north and west out to Highway 39. And it kind of confused everybody because there was no documentation to show that. And so basically what I've done since the meeting is kind of taken the advice of the board and taken that time to do a deeper dive into that. At that meeting, you'll recall from the minutes, my engineer had presented. At that time, we had completed a formal brand-new survey, a boundary survey of the O'Neill property, not just the portion I'm purchasing, but their entire parcel, which was an additional 40-some acres in addition. Our licensed surveyor found no reference to any easement from Mr. Howard or Mr. Gustafson, actually his property out to 39. So what we did was I had my attorney do a deep dive title search on the property of this past month. Went back over 100 years, and there's absolutely zero reference to any easement that anybody, much less the Howards or the Gustafsons, have across the O'Neill property. It just doesn't exist. And so my attorney couldn't be here with me tonight, but I've got a signed, sealed affidavit from my attorney that actually details that search. With that, it actually has plat maps attached that I'll be glad, if I could have Mr. Newton pull up a book and page, I'll be glad to show you what's in here. But if it's okay, I'd love to give this to the chairman, if you will.
Thanks, sir.
Just so everybody, I didn't bring copies for everybody, but basically, pull up my reference copy here and I can.
Chairman, are you going to receive that in as an exhibit?
Yes, ma'am.
I think the easiest way to show this is if you pull up that track and zoom in on Creech Church Road, that triangle right there, you see the rectangle property to the right of that triangle right there where it intersects with Creech Church Road. That's the Howard's property. North of that, you'll see 2 smaller lots and a big flag. That used to be the Howard family, I understand, property, but that was sold to Mr. Gustafson. So both of those tracks together are what was in question. And what he was saying is that Mr. Howard had a easement, recorded title, deeded easement from his property there, north and west out to Highway 39, which is about where I have a entrance to a subdivision parcel. We researched that through title searches, through our surveyors. There is no such easement ever existed. Plus, as you'll see, and that's what I was going to ask Mr. Newton if he would, if you could pull up deed book 6472, page 605. What, I'm sorry? 6472 deed book, page 605 through 607. This is the actual deed reference when Mr. Gustafson purchased that property from a couple named, the last name Merritt, John and Cynthia Merritt, but they purchased it from the Howard family in the past. But the purpose that I'm pulling this up is to show you that when Mr. Gustafson purchased this property in 2023, you see at the bottom there it says, a map showing the above referenced property is located on Plat Book 21, page 33. And in the deed, go to the third page of that deed. right there, the attachment, you see the very last sentence? It says, "Together with an easement of ingress, egress, and regress to NCSR 217, which is Creech Church Road, over the certain 20-foot access easement as shown on that certain plat recorded page 21, book plat 21, page 33." If you pull up plat book 2133, that's referenced when Mr. Gustafson purchased his property, he has a recorded deed easement that goes across the Howard's property down and intersects with Creech Church Road. So, and this 21 was recorded, as you'll see, in 1979. So the Howards have had a recorded easement across their property, giving them and the property to the north, which is now Mr. Gustafson's, direct access to Creech Church Road since the 70s. So if there was an easement from them going out to Highway 39, it would have shown then, or it hasn't existed since 1979. And so the Howards and the Gustafsons already have their own access easement directly to Creech Church Road. There was a question that somebody had asked, if you look where that easement is, if you blow it up, you'll see a little triangle tip crosses over Mr. Michael Brian Thomas's property in that number 3 track. And if you, another version of that will show that that was given to them by him. If you go to Plat Book 98, page 460, it basically shows that easement and blows it up, and you'll see that Mr. Michael Thomas, his property, whether it was him or the previous owner back in the 70s, gave the Howards that little access of his property where it touches the right-of-way of the DOT street.
Gotcha.
So that's actually there. So, if that's any more detail you like, I can go into that. But my point was, I wanted to present that to you guys to show there is no easement out to 39, and the Howards already have their own direct easement, and Mr. Gustafson, and it's been that way since the property was purchased since the 70s. So I hope that's good enough evidence to show that this doesn't exist. So therefore, it doesn't affect our project. And I think that the project was discussed at length last time, and I think from the board, my impression was that all the other aspects of the project were actually fine. I'll be glad to talk about anything you want, here for any other questions. I've got Mr. Marty Bizzle, my engineer, back if you need any questions from him. I also have a representative from the seller who is a representative of theirs, and he's here if he needs to attest that the seller, who is the daughters of Mr. Johnny O'Neill, who's owned this property since the 60s, his family owned it since the 1930s, and they are aware of absolutely no easement ever granted to anybody across Mr. O'Neill's property to Highway 39.
Any
So,
questions of the gentleman? No other changes to the site plan since?
no other changes to site, but just as we presented it, we'd ask that you guys would approve it for us.
All right. Any questions?
And the access for parcel 1 and 2 is gonna be through an easement back to Creek Church Road?
The access easement will be in between lot 1 and 2.
And that
If you-
will be their access?
Yeah, if you look at, if you look at
I'm
page
looking at it.
C22, look at page C22, it's a little bit more descriptive. Do you have the,
I don't know. If we don't
look in the bottom corner, it says sheet C2.2. It kind of shows that.
We don't have that. We
We don't have that.
Right, let's see, that'd be the next one. Actually, there it is right there.
Yeah, there you go.
If you see 1 and 2, you see that
Right.
right between, there'll be a 20-foot access driveway, shared driveway, between those just outside the right-of-way, so then they can split off to go to their homes, is the way
Thank
that
you.
would work.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Anyone else like to be heard as it relates to O'Neill Tract, NC Highway 39? All right, bring it back to staff.
Staff recommendation remains denial due to the lack of the required driveway separation on Renfro Narren Road and the direct driveway access onto Renfro Narren Road and Creech Church Road that do not meet the requirements of a major subdivision. However, that may be waived by the planning board if a hardship created upon the property was provided that to no benefit of the safety, welfare, and quality of life to the public. And that would be lots 1, 2, 21, 22, and 29, 30, and 31.
If I remember correctly, we were,
These are all direct accesses out onto this Renfro Road?
They share driveways.
Yeah, I see that, but I didn't notice the other driveways.
That's correct.
This never changed from the last time we saw it. These are all
It
the
has
same
not.
accesses. Okay.
Our required separation is also 500 feet.
Right.
DOT's is 100, and they did not have a comment on it, so.
Yeah, I think we heard testimony last month as to the hardship and the reasons for
Correct.
putting the
Yeah.
shared driveways in.
that's what I was gonna say. I thought that we went over this at length.
Yep.
We heard from a lot of people last time on just this drive access, and I know you made it known that you've shown the easements, but I have concerns making a decision on that by this board, if that's still a big issue, or is that issue completely worked out?
I mean, in terms of the access easement across what would be shown there as Lot 3, I think we've got what I consider to be competent testimony that an access easement does not exist. If any party wanted to challenge that later on, they can do that in court, but
Okay.
I don't think an access does not exist.
Okay. I still have a problem with these access points. It's just too many of them.
How many feet is it from 29 access to the one between 23 and 42? Do you know?
I'm sorry, what was that question?
On Renfro,
Uh-huh, yeah.
what is the distance between those two access points? Do you know?
Yes, the actual entrance to if you're looking on Renfro Narren,
Yeah.
the entrance to what I'll call our 17 lot where it goes to the cul-de-sac. That first entrance from there to the private shared driveway at 2933 was almost 1,100 feet. It's way down the road. And on Renfro Narren, it's a very low traffic road. There's probably only, other than these two driveways we're entering, there's probably only two more driveways 2 miles to 42.
Right.
Very,
That's
very
what
low
we talked
traffic.
about last.
Right, so there's way separation here. And on 20 and 21, again, all that was discussed last meeting. Be glad to touch on that again. 2021 is just a driveway to each lot. Those are very big. Those are almost 6-acre lots with 300 feet apart in front of them. So they're going to be 300 feet apart from each other, in terms of driveway access on those two. And then on Creech Church Road is just the one shared driveway in between Lot 1 and 2. Lot 2021, there's no way to get in there any other way, because if you come from the subdivision that backs up, it's wetland, it's a creek in the back of these lots. These are beautiful, nice home sites for one home. But to bring a road across, I don't think you could get DOT approval. It just would be so expensive, you just couldn't do it for just two lots. 29, 30, 31, it's almost 1,100 feet separation driveways, but it keeps us from having to go through an existing 100-foot CP&L power easement. There's wetlands behind there, as you see from that we've delineated.
Right.
And then by doing that, I would end up losing two lots because it takes the septic soils away. So it just makes for three really nice home sites to live it this way. Plus in my opinion, the utilities, the county's better because you don't have to service water lines through there. The meters will be right out on the road.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
I don't think it's optimal, but I don't see how you can really do it a different way with what he's got here. I make a motion to approve.
I'll second the motion. So a motion approved by Mr. Sasser, second by Mr. Letchworth. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay. O'Neill Tract, NC Highway 39 is approved. Next, we'll move to the Ennis Road Tract.
Let me get her.
You need to get Ms. Howard.
Yeah. Thanks. We didn't forget about you.
Some of us anyway.
Okay, next up is Ennis Road Track. Owner is High B Investment Group LLC. Developers Cloudbreak Investments LLC. Surveyor Engineers Becker Morgan Group. It's on Ennis Road, east of Old Fairgrounds Road in the Pleasant Grove Township, served by 5210 Fire and Rescue. It's 10.68 acres, 12 lots proposed, Johnston County Public Water, individual septic. Traffic count's not available. There were 22 adjacent property owners notified. This portion of Ennis Road appears on the Comprehensive Transportation Plan as a secondary road with adequate design capacity with no noted improvement needed.
Any questions, staff? Thanks, sir. Who'd like to be heard on behalf of Ennis Road Tract?
Good evening. I'm Donnie Adams, professional engineer and associate principal with Becker Morgan Group, 314 East Main Street in Clayton. And my firm's handling the planning and engineering on this project. We're proposing 12 lots with single cul-de-sac street, designed to county standards. And should we get approved here tonight, then we'll move forward with NCDOT to secure driveway permits. We'll work with utilities for erosion control, stormwater, and water extension permits. A couple of things real quick about the site. We do show our CBU on the right-hand side shortly after getting into the site. Also, you'll note on the, what side is that? The east side, there's a existing cemetery. It's on its own parcel. We are providing an access easement back out to our proposed subdivision street. Our plan, should we move forward, is to keep, for the most part, keep water going where it's always gone. So, that being said, I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
What is the 10S tract?
Good, okay, yes, sir. That is a septic, an off-site septic lot for lot number 10.
All right.
And open space, will that be deeded to a homeowners association, or how you gonna handle that?
Homeowners Association, yes.
Other questions? Thanks, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anyone else like to be heard as it relates to the Ennis Road tract? Yes, ma'am. Give us your name and address, please.
1052 Ennis Road.
Okay.
And this was my grandfather's farm, and I'm fine with it being developed. It was sold when my grandparents died. I'm curious about the size homes that are going to be built on it, because it backs up, 4 or 5 homes will back up to my piece of property.
Okay.
And I just am curious about the size and have a little bit of concern about the entry, because it's going up on a hill, the highest hill. Just want to make sure it's going to be safe, people coming in and out
Okay.
on the property.
We can ask those questions.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else? Donnie, any anything known at this point in time you'd like to share about home size and, just sort of safety aspects of the interest, site triangles, all that good stuff?
A few things I'll say about it was, it is too early in the process to talk about what size homes are going to be built in there. I do know, and this is a repeat client, and I've stood in front of you guys several times, and he has as well. He does do quality developments. I know, speaking with him earlier, his intention is to build on the horse farm theme, and so plans to do some white split rail fencing along the entrance and in that first entrance area where you mentioned the septic offsite and along the open space area. And then as far as the access goes, we don't have any problems or concerns with proper sight distance in both directions there. We've centered that. There's an existing driveway out there now. We are shifting it toward 150 feet-ish, and I'm guessing at that, but we're shifting it to the east to generally center it in our frontage.
Thank you, sir. All right, bring it back to staff.
Staff recommendations, preliminary approval subject to the conditions and requirements in the staff report.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion approved by Mr. Lovering, second by Mr. Sasser. Those in favor say aye. 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 Opposed? All right, Ennis Road Tract is approved. Next is Earp South Phase 2.
Mr. Chairman, may I have a moment?
Yes, ma'am.
Can we take a quick pause?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.